In this video, I'm going to be covering Dynamics 365 sales using a demo environment. My name is Jesse Buchels and I'm a pre-sales architect at Stone Ridge Software. I'm focused on Dynamics 365 customer engagement and the Power Platform. I do have experience in implementing these solutions prior to joining the sales team. And I currently live in Barnesville, Minnesota. At a high level, today we're going to see what the capabilities of dashboards and reporting are. We're going to view customer management. We'll take a look at the sales process, including lead to opportunity, as well as quotes and orders. We want to show what those Microsoft 365 integrations look like, such as Outlook, Teams, SharePoint, and then we're going to also flash the sales mobile application before we're done. As a salesperson or a sales manager, I might come in and want quick access to all of my activities, opportunities, leads, or even goals that may be assigned to me to start my day. So as a salesperson coming in, here's an example of what a dashboard might look like, showcasing what activities are due. Maybe this is by due date sorted. My open opportunities, here's an example of ones that I might be currently working on, or maybe even leads that are assigned to me that I need to jump on. We can combine dashboards with lists and charts to create that different options for visibility into our data. So here you can see I've got a view of my sales pipeline as well. I can change up my dashboards, and this is something where we're very flexible on as far as the configurator. So you can see we've got our pipeline is a little bit larger here. We've also got an example of a pie chart here showing us our open leads. And if at any time we want to open up these records, see what makes up a chart, I can quickly click my View Records button here, and that's going to take me away to more of a breakdown here where here's my list, right? So I've got different color-coded slices to this pie here. So word of mouth, if I want to know what are those 3 records that make up word of mouth, I can simply click on it, drill down into those specific records, as well as with any other slice of this pie. I might have other charts that I want to view based on my open leads, so it could be by rating, lead generation rate, etc. So these are just some examples of different ways that I can visualize my data. Additionally, with dashboards, because we've got native integration capabilities with the rest of the Microsoft stack, I can come in and embed Power BI dashboards. So as an example, I might come in and add my sales pipeline report from Power BI as a dashboard in Dynamics 365. And here's an example of what that might look like. Now, right now I'm looking at just a sales pipeline view, but if I want to see what the rest of that report looks like, I can simply click on it and it's going to open this up here to give me access to the rest of the tabs that I might have built out as a part of that Power BI report. So here's just an example of visualizing a pipeline leaderboard, some sales activity, etc. And I've still got the option to go in and interact with these charts also. So that capability is all there. Moving on from dashboards here, we've also got account management available to us. So if I wanted to come in and view my clients or my customers, I've got options here with different views to filter and sort out those accounts. So if it's by owner, for example, so as a salesperson, these might be the 8 accounts that I'm typically going to be working with. We've got a hierarchy available to us where we might have that parent-child relationship between multiple accounts, as you can see in this situation here. If I wanted to click on that icon, it's going to tell me what that hierarchy looks like, maybe who that point of contact is with each account. I might have annual revenue, really any other data that we want to visualize here in this card view. And from there, if I want to drill down into an individual record, I certainly could. So I'm going to click on A Datum Corporation, and that's going to take me into the main form for that account. So with A Datum Corporation, this is some of the data that I want to capture. This form is very configurable. So if I want email, if I want any other field type to be visual right here on this main form, I can certainly do that. It's a very low-code, no-code environment. You can see here I'm also capturing address, and we've got a native Bing Maps integration. So if I'm viewing this on my mobile device or even on my desktop or tablet. I've got quick, easy access to that aerial view here. You can see if I want satellite view, I can also turn around and update what that looks like. In the center of my screen here, I've got my timeline. My timeline is a really important feature inside of Dynamics 365. It's meant to capture really any interactions or related records to the specific record that we're on. So we're looking at the ADATM Corporation account, and I've got some sales opportunities that it looks like we've either closed out or are pending working on here. Those are all going to show up here in my timeline, along with any of those activities. So if I'm tracking any emails, phone calls, meetings, if I have any tasks that are coming up due, those are all going to show up here in my timeline as well. So it's a great place to just jump in, and you've got quick visibility then to all that historical data regarding any activity or sales related information to a specific record. On the right hand side here, I've got my assistant that's keeping me on my toes, telling me what activities might be coming up or past due so I can jump on them. And then I've got the people that are tied to an account. So my primary contact for this account is John Doe. I've also got Kevin Martin associated with this account, and if I had any others, they would additionally show up in this list view. My forms are broken out by tab. So if I jump into my next tab here, it's going to expose more data on this account form. So I'm going to be able to see any sales related information here. This might include opportunities, quotes, orders. You might want to visualize invoices or some other sales related data that we can turn around and add to this form. If we're integrated with our ERP solution, we might want to also expose other data from that integration that we might have stood up. In this case, you can see we're looking at how many open deals, what's that open revenue look like, if we've got a credit hold on them. Those are just examples of different fields that we might want to add to our forms. We've also got a native integration with SharePoint, and in this case, we're going to use SharePoint as our document management solution. So we've got some storage capabilities inside of Dynamics 365, but depending on what yours might look like, we might want to leverage document management solutions such as SharePoint here for any of those documents, images, larger files maybe that we want still to have access to inside of Dynamics 365, but not chewing up storage here. So you can see I've got a couple of examples here of some different documents that I've turned around and added to SharePoint. And the nice thing is, if I jump into SharePoint here, I can view those documents from inside of SharePoint without a Dynamics 365 license. So here are my accounts in my SharePoint demo site that I stood up. And now I can jump into a ADATM Corporation. You can see I've got access to the same documents there that we were just looking at. So I might have multiple quotes in here. I'm just showing one as an example. But I've still got easy access to it right from inside of Dynamics 365. Let's jump into our sales process then next. So the concept of a lead inside of Dynamics 365 sales is such that it might be someone we've never worked with before, but we can also treat a lead as an existing account or contact. So that customer we're already working with might be how you are using leads today as well. So here you can see we've got some different examples of leads. We've got 17 that I have been assigned to myself. If I jump into my top one here, we're going to see a couple of different things here on this form that we didn't see before. And the first thing that I'm going to want to point out here is this business process flow up top. So the business process flow gives us an option to set our sales team members down the right path to ultimately qualify, develop, and complete the sale. Your sales process could be very different. In this example, I've got 4 stages: qualify, develop, propose, and close. And within each of those sales stages, I might have a list of different activities or requirements that I need my seller to complete. In this case, you can see we want to verify, is this an existing customer of ours? What's their time frame? What's their budget look like, etc. And once I go through and capture all that information, I'm going to be able to move on then ultimately to the next stages in my sales process. From a lead, we might capture what are they calling in for? Who are they? Just some other general contact information. Very similar to what we would capture on an account or a contact. Moving on from a lead, once we're ready to qualify and develop it, we can turn that into then an opportunity. So I'm going to switch over to opportunities because the opportunity table itself does have some additional fun features that are available to us. So here, when I drill down into opportunities, you can see I'm starting from a view. So I've got a list of all of my opportunities that I might want to work here, who that customer is, what that estimated close date might look like, or estimated revenue. So whatever information we want to capture inside our views, we can expose it here. But I can also visualize this data differently. So I've got this pipeline view that's now available to me. And as a salesperson, this might help me understand where I'm at with my different opportunities. And I'm going to drag this down just a little bit to open up my top chart here. You can see each of these bubbles represents a sales opportunity that I'm working on. You can see we're sorting this by estimated close date. And depending on if I want to visualize these, maybe I'm grading these based on that opportunity. Or I could leverage my sales stages to visualize these as well. So you can see everything's color coded. So I've got all my grade A opportunities, grade B, grade C, and ones that I haven't graded yet are available to me. And I can quickly select one of these, open up my card view on the side, and go in and then make quick updates to this opportunity in this way as well. So I don't have to open up the main form from here unless I really want to. I can open it up here, and that's going to allow me to go in then and make updates to that sales opportunity. So the pipeline view is a really great way to go in, visualize all of your opportunities in one list view as well as in that chart view, and then go in and make quick updates to them. So when I'm on an opportunity, if it's time to develop this opportunity for me in this scenario, and I'm ready to move on to potentially quoting and adding products to an opportunity, we do have a product catalog that's available. Whether that exists in Dynamics 365 Sales or maybe it exists in your ERP solution and we're integrating those products into Dynamics 365 Sales, we can then leverage those products to build out a quote. So I'm going to jump into my product line. Maybe I'm ready to start adding products to a specific record. Here you can see I've got price lists that might be assigned to a specific account, and different accounts could have different price lists, right? And we can leverage discount capabilities as well. So you might have bulk buy discounts, for example. So here within this Contoso Bakery price list that's been assigned to this particular account, I can now come in and I can start adding products. So you can see we've already added some products to this opportunity. We've got a quantity of 50 so far, so I can come in, maybe I need to add more products to this. This is going to open up a window inside this opportunity and allow me to have access to then this product catalog. So I can see my different product families on the left, and each of these is going to have different products available. So it looks like we can send out test products of bread or donuts. As far as croissants go, let's send out some croissant dough. So if we want to add, maybe we're going to add 10, quantity of 10 here to our order. We can go in, we can add that. I can add additional products here as well. I can also leverage write-in capabilities. So maybe I don't have a product listed out, or maybe I need to add an additional surcharge, something to the order. I can leverage the write-in product capability also. Once I'm ready to add any products that I've added here in this window to my opportunity, I can click Saved Opportunity. That's going to make the updates to my product add screen here for my product line items. And then to go in and add and turn this into a quote, very straightforward process as well. I click on quotes here, select Add New Quote. That's going to take all the information then from this opportunity, including my customer, my product lines, and any other information that I want to pull into a quote, and dump it into this new quote record. So here you can see we've got this quote that's now active. The details around my products are here, as well as the ability to go in and add any discounts. So I might have a percentage discount or a flat discount that I want to add to it, or both. If I want to add freight, now's the time to go in and do that as well. If I wanted to do that prior to sending this over maybe to my ERP solution or sending it over to my customer. If I've got shipping information that I want to map over from the account, I can do that. I can map over addresses here as well. And as soon as I'm ready to activate this quote and send it off to my customer, I've got a couple quick options here. I can activate the quote with the click of a button, as well as turn it around and send it to my customer. So export here. If I want to export this out, I've got some different options. So number one, I can leverage templates inside the system, and you might have a specific template that is branded or has different language on it that you want to leverage. We can go in and show you how to build out those different quote templates. So you can see one format. If I jump into another one, you can see the layout is a little bit different, but you might have an icon or a logo that you want to add, different language that you want to add, and you could have multiple quotes. So you might have 10, 15, or 20 different quotes type templates to choose from. So we can go ahead and we can map those in. I could download this as a PDF. I can email this directly to a customer or even internally, or I can push this to SharePoint and save it out. If I want to email it and I click email, I've got my native integration with Outlook. So that's going to turn around and open up a message for me. It's going to take my quote and attach it as a PDF, map in the customer's email address, and if I'm leveraging templates, it can stand up that email template for me right away as well. So I can make this really quick and easy for my seller to go in and turn around this email. And if you've got a signature that you want to layer in here, you can do that also, so that it makes this process very quick and easy. As soon as I'm ready to send this out, I can go ahead and click send. This is a demo environment and I don't have an actual email address tied to this, so I'm not going to send it out. But I'm going to save and close it here so that it saves the record. And again, if I wanted to save this, push this out to SharePoint, as a part of the file storage solution tied to this account, I could do that as well. So we've gone in and we saved it to SharePoint. We've simulated what that might look like to send this out as an email. And from here, I can turn around and I can create an order and ultimately create an invoice. It's very common at this stage where we're talking through potentially integrating with our ERP solution, and at what point do we want to push over an order or an invoice. So we've got some flexibility, we've got some options there on what that trigger might look like. You can see as I've gone in to click create order, it's also giving me the option to close out my opportunity, so I don't have to go back and do it. So that is an option. If you don't want to close that opportunity out, you don't have to. Maybe I want to go in and I want to add a few additional notes. I can go ahead and I can do that as well. So that's what the process looks like from start to finish at a high level of capturing different data around a lead or opportunity, and then creating that quote as I add products to it, and ultimately converting that into an order. Once I'm ready to convert this order to an invoice, I can do that here as well, unless I'm doing that in my ERP solution. So that's also with the click of a button. And next I want to take a look at the Sales Accelerator. This is going to contain some more of our newer advanced features that are available inside of Dynamics 365. So the Sales Accelerator is going to allow you to go in and create segments based on really any field on your lead, opportunity, account contact type records, where maybe I want to create a segment for customers in specific states or territories as an example. Then from there, I can turn around and decide who do I want to distribute those to. So leveraging distribution rules for leads or opportunities, for example, I can turn around and say, I've got 10 sellers, I want to round robin, everything's equal, everybody is just one after the other, or maybe it's a load balancing thing, or it could be based on territory. If you've got sellers that manage different territories, that's a great way to align them with the correct lead and have the system do that for you so that you're not having to manually go in and assign those and figure out what seller manages what territory. So we can go ahead and we can set those rules up for quick and easy lead distribution. Now, once we get a lead assigned, what we can do from there is we can create a sequence. And a sequence inside of Sales Accelerator is really a series of steps that you might create so that your seller that is maybe assigned to a lead or an opportunity knows really what is the next stage in that sales process. Is it a introduction email? Is it a phone call? Is it a task? Is it setting an appointment? So whatever that specific set of steps are that you want your team to follow, you can go ahead and you can pre-create those based on a sequence. So in this example, I'm looking at Lavana Field. Lavana Field, it looks like what's coming up next here? Well, a phone call, a follow-up call is going to be due. So Here we can go in, we can make that call, and then once we're done, we mark it complete. It'll move on to the next stage in that sequence. You can also leverage call recording in segments, sentiment analysis inside of Dynamics 365. So in this example, we're coming in, we had a phone call with our customer here. It looks like it was 2 minutes and 10 seconds long. Here over on the right, we've got our transcript of this entire call. We're also pulling out keywords. So the system is going to do this for us. We might have products or competitors or other accounts that the customer mentioned. It's going to pull those out for us. Down on the bottom, you can see we actually recorded the call. We've got some sentiment analysis in here where we can tell when anytime the customer or the salesperson had a positive sentiment versus a negative sentiment versus neutral, obviously, throughout the rest of that conversation. So if we wanted to re-listen to this, we certainly could. In addition to that, when we're making our calls, we can go in and we can take notes. We can allow the system to suggest activities for us, such as maybe sending a follow-up email or communicating with them about a keyword that they might have mentioned. So here we can tell competitors' names were mentioned if we're tracking competitors. Keywords such as products that we might have in our system were maybe mentioned. Specific people or even prices, so we can pull that out right out of the conversation here, automatically leveraging this call recording service that's available. Okay, so some other things that we're seeing on this form here within the Sales Accelerator are lead scoring capabilities, who knows whom, so if there are connections inside of our account or contact list for our customers, maybe it's similar email addresses as far as domains go, and maybe it's another seller that is working with another contact. This is going to help us identify if there are maybe some internal connections here to help us get introduced to a new lead prior to making that initial communication. We can monitor our relationship health here as well, and then we've still got the timeline available to us. So any of those activities, related activities, sales activities that are all available are going to show up here too. Next, we're going to take a look at the app for Outlook. So the app for Outlook is a really important tool inside of Dynamics 365. Our sellers are going to be able to jump in and make that connection between Outlook and Dynamics 365, which is a native integration there, where they can come in and they can leverage the tool, which is over here on the right. So everything, this window here, is all really an extension of Dynamics 365. So you can see if I've gotten a new email here from John Doe, for example, and I jump into it, that John Doe might already exist as a contact in the system. If John Doe did not exist, we could create a brand new contact right from the app for Outlook. We could even create a new account or a new lead right from this email. So we don't have to bounce back and forth into Dynamics 365. When an email comes in, if I need to track this against the John Doe's account record or contact record, or maybe even an opportunity, I could go ahead and I can start tracking this as well. So right now you can see it's not being tracked. If I wanted to, I might come in and look for a specific record inside of Dynamics 365. Again, maybe that's just the account record, but it could be an opportunity. So if I wanted to go ahead and track this to a lead or an opportunity, I could. In this example, I'm just going to show how we track this back to the Datum Corporation, and it's going to indicate then that we're tracking this in Dynamics. Now I've got visibility to this email in the timeline, and then any replies back and forth on this specific email are also going to automatically track and show up in Dynamics 365 for me. Next, we're going to take a look at some of the Dynamics 365 and Microsoft Teams collaboration features that are available. So right now I'm inside of Microsoft Teams. This is the web-based version, but the functionality is going to be the same if you're on the desktop application as well. So you can see I've actually got Dynamics 365 pinned as an application inside of Microsoft Teams. That's going to give me the ability to use everything that I've shown so far in Dynamics 365 right from within Teams. I can manage my accounts, I can create new leads or opportunities, I've got visibility to my dashboards. So I've got all of that right inside of Teams. so I don't actually have to leave. Now, some other really cool features that are available to us, if I jump into your typical team and channel structure in Microsoft Teams, and you can see I've got some demo team and channels stood up here. I have the option to go in and add a view or record into a specific channel. So right now I'm in my general channel under my demo team. If I go ahead and select account here, you're going to see where I've got a list view pinned of my SharePoint accounts, but I can also go in and view Dynamics 365 data. So I'm going to go ahead and select plus, I'm going to select Dynamics 365, and that's going to give me the option then to go in and choose a view or a specific entity that I want to have access to. So if I choose view and I want to see my account view, my active accounts, we're going to go ahead and we're going to save and add this. Now this is going to display all of the records that we just saw in Dynamics 365 into a view as a tab up here in this channel. So you can see those active accounts. I could drill down into one of them. I can make updates from here because it really is just an extension of Dynamics 365. So that's a very cool feature. Makes it quick and easy to go in and view your data here right from within Teams. And now back in Dynamics 365, we're going to show what some of those Teams collaboration features look like as well. So I'm looking at a list of open opportunities here, and over on the right, by selecting this icon, I'm opening up my Teams chat window. So everything here is all Teams chat on the right side of my screen. So my Teams chats, this is showing anything that I've got active. This is a demo environment. I've just created a few conversations here to show what that might look like. So I can continue to chat with any of my colleagues here. If William and I wanted to continue chatting, we could do so right here. That way I don't have to open up Microsoft Teams separately. So I continue to chat with my colleagues here, but another really cool feature is I can create connected chats to a record. So if I drill down into a specific opportunity here, I can create that connected chat by clicking this button. So I'm the owner of this chat, but let's say a colleague of mine owns this opportunity record, or maybe as a manager, I can see that a salesperson is working it, but maybe they haven't moved the opportunity along, and I just want to know if I can help them out. I can create that connected chat. So I'm going to come in here and choose who do I want to chat with. It could be one or multiple colleagues. If the owner is not myself, it's going to help it by suggesting who to communicate with there. And then I could go in and I could ask, do you need any assistance with this opportunity? Whoop. And go ahead and start that chat. It's going to give a high-level overview, a card view of what that opportunity looks like, but it's going to send that message right away to William. That way we can continue to chat around this specific record. You can see that within this card view, now it's going to give William an idea of what this opportunity is that I'm sending him this message on. It's also going to provide a link to it in case William wants to open it up right away. So again, creating that connected chat can be very helpful just to make sure that we're collaborating on the correct record there. The last thing I want to show today is how we might use the Dynamics 365 sales application for your mobile device. So I'm currently logged in to that same environment we were just working in, and this is what you might expect to see from the sales mobile application home screen. It's going to show us any recent contacts that we've interacted with up top. You can see I'm scrolling back and forth. Along with any other recent records, you can see we were looking at that A-Datum Corporation account in an opportunity that we were just on. We might have some assistant reminders down below, but then at the bottom, we got the ability to go in and search for any record. We can quickly hit that plus icon and go in and create a activity record on the fly, or an account, or even an opportunity record. We've also got access to all of our meetings in our calendar, so if your calendar is booked out, you're going to have access to those, as well as the ability to join any Teams meetings from here. And if I select the bottom right icon for more with the 3 dots, that's going to take me into my typical sitemap here, where I've got access to everything that we saw in the desktop application. So here in my sales pipeline, this is going to be that Power BI report, very similar. If I wanted to jump into my core Dynamics 365 sales dashboards, those are also accessible, so I could drill down into any of those. If I wanted to make updates to an account or to an opportunity, all of those are going to be here as well. So I selected accounts. I'm going to go into a Datum Corporation here, and now I've got access to all of that same data, and I can make quick and easy updates on the fly. In a quick side-by-side comparison, when I've got the desktop app up in the background here along with my mobile application view, you can see that really it's a one-for-one. So we're not asking our mobile users to have to learn how to use a new system. The screens are going to really interact and behave the same way regardless of the type of device or screen size that you're using. With that being said, that concludes my demo today of Dynamics 365 Sales. I hope you enjoyed it and have a great rest of your day.